Most of these dudes want the same thing women want. A provider, someone that can protect them, keep things stable, make them feel secure. And that's exactly why the dating scene feel harder than ever right now. You got men waiting for women to approach them, shoot their shot, plan a date, pay for it, lead the whole situation. I'm not saying men don't deserve a good woman, one that loves you, prays for your safety, hold you down through everything. Of course you do. But how you gonna get that if you just sitting back waiting for her to do everything that you supposed to be doing? What happened to the real leading, being intentional, to courting? What happened to picking her up, or at least sending her a call, making sure she get home safe, just because you care, not because you expect something in return? Nowadays, a girl going on a date, y'all expecting her to pay and expect something in return. Like, what do you actually offer her besides empty promises and probably future headaches? Like, step aside or step up, either one. Because at this point, it's getting a little rough because the roles are getting confused and it's showing a lot. Like, I don't know what's going on, but it ain't going too good, I'll tell you that.
So what continues to happen over and over to a lot of men, actually good men, actually decent men, is, and women, modern women will say this, and they'll say this is what they expect. I expect the man to text first. I expect the man to do all of the planning, grow some, and, from start to finish. I want to see, and they say this online, I want to see you from start to finish plan a date. Plan this, plan that, do this, do that. And it sets them up in a way, and society backs them a lot of times on this. It sets them up in a way to make it seem like they're the only ones in the relationship that you need to get their approval. Like, the man doesn't need to say, okay, I'm doing things, so what are you going to be doing? How are me and you going to connect? Let me see what you can do. When it comes to that point, modern women stop. And all of a sudden, I don't have to prove myself to you. But a man has to prove himself. Oh, yeah, that's how it is. That's what a man should do. Right. And when men do that and they get no reciprocation, what do you think is going to happen?
When a man goes quiet, he's already halfway out the door. He stops arguing because he stopped caring. He doesn't fight anymore because you're not worth the energy. He's done. But here's the part that'll destroy you. He won't leave yet. He'll keep you close. He'll keep sleeping with you. He'll keep saying, I love you, while his eyes scan every room for someone better. You think silence means he's processing? No. Silence means he's replacing you. This is why he cheats. Not saying it's right. Not because he's weak. Not because he's confused. But because he's shopping, testing out your replacement while you're still playing girlfriend. And this is the cruelest part. You'll feel it. You'll sense something is off. But when you ask, he'll call you crazy, insecure, dramatic. Meanwhile, he's one conversation away from making you his ex. Stop waiting for a man who is already gone. His silence isn't peace. It's the countdown to your heartbreak. Stay woke.
What's going on, fellas? Don't forget to like and subscribe to the channel. Leave a comment down below. Let's get back to the video. And I think, and you kind of particularly see this with some ladies, this engagement bait type, relationship posting where modern women will be filming their boyfriends during arguments without telling him, and then posting it, with like a caption of like, why are men like this? Do you even hear me? That sort of stuff. And then a man doesn't even know. But when a man does find out and he's like, well, wait a minute, what's going on here? I thought we were going to keep our business in house. Yeah, but they need to see the real me. They need to know the real me. That's if you guys are doing a prank and you both are in on it, I can see, I can understand it's entertainment, right? And some of these videos out here are that purely rage bait, engagement bait. I get it. I understand it. Get your bag, right? It's funny. It's entertainment. Sometimes you can't even tell, right? But for the women that are doing it seriously, there was a woman that was thinking about divorcing her husband and put it out online. Yeah, I don't know if I'm happy with my husband. And then some of these ladies out here, yeah, it's okay to divorce the good guy. What are we doing? Why would you say something so silly?
Like I said before, all the conventions that kept women in line to keep them submissive and, following a man's lead, they're all gone. We don't have shame anymore. We don't have religious institutions anymore like that are powerful enough to tell women that they need to chill out. We don't have societal pressure on women to stay faithful. We have, if anything, it's the other side. We have societal pressure for women to pursue their happiness. We have societal pressure for women to divorce their guy, take the money. There's an entire business around it. Divorce Inc., family lawyers, family courts, child daycare. Like there's an entire infrastructure set around the divorce industry and the marriage industry. So they're incentivized for financial reasons to keep it going. So there's really no plus, right? If we're being extremely pragmatic here, there's really no like serious tangible plus for a woman to stay in a relationship if she's not happy. If she's not happy, she can leave and still get a lot of the benefits. And that is why the divorce rates are through the roof. This is why women initiate 80-90% of the divorces. They only get rewarded for doing so. So this is what you guys have to understand when you get into this dating marketplace, is that a lot of the conventions that were put in place to contain hypergamy, they're cooked. They're gone. Shame, religion, society, the patriarchy, traditionalism, all gone. Now what we live in is a female-led and a female-first patriarchy. That's what we live in now.
I think what modern women don't understand is that men are not really scared to approach. A lot of guys are just tired of being treated like they're the boogeyman, or they're like a monster or something like that. Y'all be treating men, it's kind of an old reference. Y'all be treating men like they're Casper the Friendly Ghost. Some of those cartoons where Casper we be coming in friendly as all get out. Hey, how you doing? Oh, it's a ghost. And these folks, they really played it up on the cartoons where they have people just running out and jumping in the sea and swimming away and stuff silly stuff. Y'all act like men are ghosts. Y'all act like men are animals instead of human beings. Now, once again, I can understand if that man is actually making you uncomfortable. And when I say making you uncomfortable, I mean, oh, what's up, sexy? Ooh, you looking good. Now, I know there's some women that'll hear that from a good looking guy and they'll be like, oh, that's fine to say. How do we know that? Because that's what they said. If I find you attractive, then you can say that type of stuff to me. So it's not and then a man goes into his logic and says, so it's not really that I'm a creep, it's just that you don't want to hear it from me. That's got to be consistent. You got to be consistent with that. But a lot of modern women don't hold that, right? So men see this type of nonsense, and there's when the risk arises, because I don't know if you like me or not. It's the unknown, and I would rather not live in the unknown. I have no control over it. You think about the stock market. You think about, moving into a house. I can at least read the contract and say yay or nay. I can at least do my due diligence and research on the stock and say yay or nay. And that's what I'm doing with women. I'm looking at her. I'm reading what I can about you. I'm looking at your body language and your face, and I'm saying yay or nay. That's what it is. I'm saying yay or nay. Well, you didn't even really give me a chance. I didn't see much of a reason to give you a chance. I didn't see much of a reason to come up and talk to you. You really didn't give me one. Your financials, your trailing 12 months, your cash flow, to put it in financial terms, didn't really look all that great. Your key metrics don't look all that great. So I'm not coming over there. You got to start putting out, and it's more than looking good in a dress and putting on good makeup and fixing your hair. It's going to come down to your attitude. Period. End of story. It's going to come down to your attitude every single time.
Victorian era, and men used to treat women with an extreme amount of deference because generations living then remembered a time when the world was a lot more difficult than people now remember it being. So the physical inequality between men and women was emphasized because the world was a much more difficult place. Men took a paternalistic and patriarchal view on how women should be treated. And women wanted men to take that. They wanted to be safe. They wanted to be provided for. They wanted to make sure their children were safe. And men did what they could. Now, men have won. They've, the fact we've got aeroplanes flying overhead and the fact that we're not about to be invaded is the victory of Western man. Then for some reason women decided, okay, well, I'm not afraid anymore. I want what you have. You don't do the things that we do, so you can't have what we have. But men just want women to be happy. They want them to love them. They want their approval. And so if gaining women's approval means pretending women are equal to men or, saying this, that, and the other, whatever it is, they'll do it. And it's completely taken men off of the throne that they sat on. This throne was never imposed by authority, actually. It's imposed by consent. And the second women withdrew their consent for the man to be on that throne, the throne collapses and the men are just standing around and going, okay, well, I guess I'll just play video games and drink beer all day and smoke weed. And if you don't need me, I won't do anything. Because that's really the whole raison d'etre of being a man, just to be needed by someone else. And it's always been women.
I think what modern women don't really want to admit is that they've been on Hinge for 2 years, swiping left. If a guy is holding a fish or wearing a certain shirt, sunglasses as their first pick, and that sort of stuff, then you want to post rants about how the algorithm is broken, Hinge is taking all my money, all of the good men are hid behind the paywall, and all that other stuff. Actually, if you would, I'm not saying that you have to pick the guy that you don't want to pick, but y'all are passing on men because he was holding a fish in his hand. He was holding a fish in his hand. Oh, well, he likes to fish too much. Isn't there some things that you like to do too much? Some of you ladies like makeup too much, and you'll spend hours doing that, but you want that man to leave you alone. Some of y'all are involved in gossip too much. Y'all will spend hours, days on end gossiping. Y'all will find new TV shows, new YouTube videos and channels that talk about nothing but gossip. That's all you want to hear about. And then you come home trying to talk that to him while he's trying to relax and play a game. You tell him about drama and stuff like that. And I know a man listen to you because you just go, oh, wow, that's crazy. But he'll listen to that and try to engage with you. But if a man wants to do something, I really don't want to do that. So a lot of times it's the man having to take on what the woman wants to do, what a model, like for these ladies, at least what these ladies want to do, totally fully embrace it, or you don't embrace me, you don't really love me. And when a man says, okay, these are the things that I like to do, it's childish. That's childish. And you need to stop it immediately. Shaming men for doing the things that men like to do, instead of trying to sit down there and understand why he likes to do it, and maybe every so often get involved in it. But if you don't like it, you don't have to do it. If the man's playing the game, go get some coffee, go watch your favorite TV show. That's the time alone that you can go spend with a girlfriend. Oh, we had a girls' night out. We just went down there and we just got drinks and we just sat at the bar for a little while, and then after that we just came home. I'll talk to my man for the rest of the night and went to bed. That could be the time that you're doing that. Or you go over her house and y'all have like a girls' night where y'all watch reruns of the 90-day Love Island stuff, or whatever you guys like to watch. Do that. But y'all be so far in a man's bit. Y'all be so far trying to stop him from doing the stuff that he likes to do, instead of getting involved and saying, okay, let me come into his world. Most of the time it's, well, he got to come into mine. But if I see something I don't like and he gonna want me to get involved in that, swipe. Okay, in 10 years you're gonna be like, oh, well, where are the good men at? You just kept on swiping on them.
This post is for the protectors and the providers that are underappreciated. The best time to leave that woman is right now, bro. The best time to leave that woman is right now. There has never in life been more single, successful, child-free, attitude-free women in the world, bro. I'm talking about these women are flawless, bro. If you are with a woman right now, that does not appreciate you, if you are with a woman right now that does not respect you, if you are with a woman that you got into a relationship with and she let herself go and she wearing moo-moos and she don't put on perfume and she thinks that it's cool to walk around you with bonnets on 24/7 and one lash on and one lash off and 3 toenails painted, bro, you can get you the woman of your dreams right now. You have to do 2 things as a man in order to be a catch. You have to protect and provide. You don't have to be good looking. You don't even have to be great in bed. You can get the woman of your dreams today. It's out here. It's out here. These women are to the point where they will take you if you look like a toad, bro. You protect and you provide. And that is more than 97% of what these men are out here offering, bro. Leave her today and get outside. They are out here, bro.
I think in all honesty, a lot of these modern women are taking dating advice and relationship advice. They're taking dating advice and relationship advice from these women whose marriages have failed, from these women whose relationships have failed multiple times. These women who are applying bitter lessons to men who haven't done anything. That's who you're taking advice from. You got a best friend out here that got divorced last year, talking about men are trash, they're terrible, and this is what he used to do to me. And somebody's sitting back like, that's actually not a bad thing. That's a good thing. Yeah, but he was doing this, and this. No, those are all good things too. Maybe you're the problem. No, it could never be me. And if somebody suggests that I'm a terrible person, then they need to get from around me. It's pretty much how it goes. And that's the person that you're friends with. Anytime somebody tries to hold them accountable for the things that they did, it's always somebody else's fault. Always somebody else's fault. He did me wrong. I thought he was true. He ran out of my life, and now I'm so through with him. Sorry. Anyways, these modern women are playing games. Stop listening to these modern women who don't know what the heck they're talking about. Now, I do agree. Just because you had a failed relationship, don't mean that you can't provide some advice. Don't mean you can't say, hey, now watch out for this or look out for that. You can say that. But a lot of these modern women are not level-headed. They're not coming from a place of, oh, well, just kind of look out for this, and you're just kind of listening and then giving feedback. They hear a little bit, yeah, leave him alone. Oh. And you let that man go, and then you have to separate yourself months later when that man says, hey, whatever happened to us? And then you have to think by yourself, because your friend is off doing whatever she's doing. You have to think, I don't know what happened to us. Why did we stop talking? I don't know. You said something about, I was doing some weird stuff and I never understood that. And I tried to ask you about it, but you had never answered my call, so I didn't get it. Okay, well, yeah, I don't see why we can't go out on a date and just to see. And this time she don't tell her girlfriend about it. And they sit and talk, and it's like, why did we ever break up? Why did we stop talking? Why did we ever stop talking? I don't know. And then you see them 2 years down the line, be married. Actually married. Because there was nothing wrong. It's just that she was bitter and she was projecting what happened to her and the stuff that she got herself into onto you. Stop listening to that. Stop listening to it. At the very least, listen, analyze it, and it's like, well, that don't apply to me. Okay. And throw it away. Stop letting these bitter women ruin your relationship.
I mentioned this in a previous episode. I'm like, men don't talk to me in public, and it's probably because I'm always dressed down. I'm in a hoodie, I'm in sweats, my hair's never done, it's probably slicked back. I just look like I'm taken. I look like I'm going. I look like I'm running errands. I look like I'm going to pick up dinner. I don't ever look like come talk to me.
But do you feel like come talk to me? Because men can feel that more than we can see it. Like if a man cares about your clothes and like what you're wearing and like he's like, oh man, I can't talk to her because she had on a hoodie, then he probably likes men.
Okay.
You understand what I'm
so
saying?
much
Like-
for that warning.
Yeah, I think it's
So-
more like a man won't approach you on how you're looking.
Okay.
Like I was approaching this woman at the gym one time, and then I don't even know if it was her face or a face she made, and
you
I
thought
just,
she winked.
no, no, the face wasn't a wink. It was like a ugh.
Oh.
When I walked, I was like, oh shoot.
You kept walking.
Yeah, I busted the left, so I hit the blinker on. Tick, took, tick, took. Oh, I'm so sorry. I ain't even supposed to be right here. This is not even my gym.
This is not my land.
Yeah, I'm not even a member here. I don't even know why I'm in this gym. I ain't never went back
I
since.
came to fill out an application.
Ooh, that was so embarrassing.
But you
Wow.
said, do I look like come talk to me? I probably don't look like come talk to me.
Yeah.
In my mind, I probably feel bummy and I feel like I don't look my best. So I probably am exuding don't talk to me because I'm not confident. So I need to start dressing up.
Yes, but if that makes you feel better.
It does. When you
There
look
you
better,
go.
you feel better, period.
I think also men just get tired of having to be out here showing up for you. You got a race or a marathon or something like that, man's right there. Hey man, you need some water? Hey, there's only certain things that you can do, but if you running a race or something like that, I got your special sauce, got your special water, I got your special snack. After the race, there's however many checkpoints during the race, I'm right there cheering you on. I got my family. If I can't be there at every checkpoint, obviously I got my family. Go Chelsea, keep on running, keep on going. And I've got your encouragement. And then at the end, I'm right there waiting on you, right? A lot of men, he might say, hey, I want to take you out to a basketball game or a baseball game, and I want to propose because this is, I thought you like grand gestures and stuff like that, which as a man, you probably want to have a conversation with her. In all honesty, you do want to have a conversation with her, even if you're not thinking about proposing for like another 3 months, another 6 months. That's a conversation that should probably come up at some point in time. So what kind of rings are you like? Have you ever thought about that? Oh, you trying to propose? No, I'm just curious. I'm just curious. I mean, you don't want to do it too early, because you on the first date, you unless it naturally comes up, but don't bring it up. Don't bring it up, if at all possible. Right? Once you've been talking, y'all start to hang out a little bit, and you say, so you want kids? Yeah, I want kids. And I already have kids, and things of that nature. And so, what are you looking for? Well, I really like to be married. How long? Have you ever thought about how long it would take you to get married? Well, I'm thinking about, maybe, at least a year. I'd like to get married in under a year. Of course, it depends on if I know the guy. Oh, so you got your ring picked out and everything. Now you just brought it up naturally. Oh yeah, I got this. Well, okay, show me what you got. And she'll definitely show you. Well, this is why I got this, and this. And you make a mental note of it. You can look and see what kind of website it is, where it's at, and the whole 9 yards. And you can kind of see where you're at, right? If you really like the lady. If not, then it don't really matter. But, you need to be having those conversations, right? But my original point was, men, they try to do nice things for you. They try to do grand gestures to prove their love to you. And so when a man does these grand gestures, like goes in front of millions of people or thousands of people he doesn't know, and he tries to ask you for your hand in marriage, or he takes you out on a nice expensive date, for a lot of men out here, especially if that's not a place that they would ever go, that's not a place that they would ever frequent, they do these things, but they don't get anything in return. That's it. It was a problem for men before, but now that they see you're bragging about not going to give anything back to them, you're not going to do anything for them, now they're saying, okay, well, since you want to act like that, I'm cutting it off. Full stop.
People be like, well, I'd rather cry in a Rolls Royce than I've cried in one.
Exactly.
It feel the same.
What would you say to your sisters out there that say that's old school, marriage doesn't really work, y'all are an anomaly? I hear this story, it's great, but I don't find value in marriage.
Find value in yourself first. I go through social media and I hear 50-50, what you bring to the table and all these things. That was never a topic of discussion because I just always seen what a man was supposed to do and what a woman could do and should do. I'm not wanting to say that I'm a traditional wife, but my husband has always allowed me the space to be me and made me want to be submissive to him. I believe that sometimes we look for things when we're not ready. We go outside of God's vision. We want to snatch the pen while he's writing. And so we have to trust God's path for us and our purpose, and not immediately is it always going to be marriage. What is for you will find you, and trust that. What was for me found me. I came to the realization that the things that I was desiring was outside of God's will, and that's why it was never meant to work. People be like, well, I'd rather cry in a Rolls Royce than I've cried in one.
Exactly.
It feel the same.
Isn't that crazy, that toxic mentality?
Yeah, it doesn't feel good. I want substance. I want to be with the man that when I can't wipe my own behind, that he's going to wipe it for me. Ask God for that.
Yeah.
The same man you praying for is outside praying for you.
A lot of these modern women, they go to these places for a week. They go overseas, they go on vacation for a week, and they come back saying, oh, the universe told me, I need a man who surfs, I need a man who speaks Spanish, he's got a creative side hustle. He's just this man that's adventurous. He just want to pick up and go at any point in time. Which there are some people like that. That's how they live their life. But what I'm saying is, a lot of these modern women, this is what they want, right? So the guy that might be perfectly good guy, might be an accountant, because, I don't subscribe to that sort of lifestyle. I'm a little bit more, I don't want to say stable, but I live my life in a different way. Then you pass that man up. Right? Essentially what a lot of these modern women go through is phases where I just want to travel. And then, okay, now I'm in the phase where I just kind of want to stay at home. And there is a man, there's expected to be a man that's supposed to go through all those phases with you. Modern women, because they're in that phase, are picking the man that speaks Spanish, who likes to surf, just likes to have his hair in the wind for that phase. They don't understand that that's that man's way of life. I want to live her all the time. That's what I want to do. And you guys actually don't match. This is what you want for the summertime, or this is what you want for a couple of years. And then you want to move on. Okay, I tried that for a couple of years. Now I want the guy who's a little bit more stable. Problem is, you actually should have, found a guy who does all of that, who is able to go through those phases with you. Maybe not perfectly. Maybe I don't want to go to the beach all the time, right? But I can do that with you. A lot of modern women, they need to look for an actual genuine friend with the same values. And I'm not saying, and I want to specifically say, he doesn't need to be like you. A lot of modern women are looking for themselves or their friends in a man. That's not what you're looking for. You're looking for a friend to say, oh yeah, shoot, I'm down. Let's do it. Why not? Let's go. But then you say, hey, you want to stay in tonight? Yeah, I don't feel like going out. But modern women are doing something different. Like I said, they're looking, oh, that's all this man wants to do because that's all I want to do. And essentially what they're doing is they're if it would be a Netflix show, they'd be binge watching it. And I'm just going to do this all the time. Every week when I'm not at work, all the time. Right? Until they get tired of it. Then all of a sudden that man is terrible. He's a joke. He's a disaster. And now you're putting his face and his name in. Are we dating the same guy? Like the guy did you wrong. He didn't. Now you're putting him on the T app. Like he did you wrong. He didn't. That's who that guy was. That's just the stuff he does. You picked the wrong man. You were looking for the wrong thing. And that's what modern women keep on doing over and over again. I pick a man that's all he wants to do is this. I have him for a couple of years, and then another man that all he wants to do is this. take him for a couple of years, and they keep on rotating. They keep on doing that over and over again until one day, I really want to settle down this time. And the guy that you actually needed 18 years ago has gone and got a family.
Which one hurts worse, rejection or regret? I mean, with rejection, you could walk up to a pretty girl that you like, say, hey, my name's Lloyd. I thought you were pretty. I thought I'd come say hi. And she might be like, oh, I'm not interested, or I have a boyfriend, or you're ugly, or get lost. She could say any of those things. And it will sting. Don't get me wrong. I've embarrassed myself in front of a lot of people. And it does sting. And you walk away from that kind of cringing, not feeling that good. Then you move on, you get over it. Regret, though, that's something that stays with you. And it's very interesting because in the dating game, I find a lot of rejection happens to men. Men deal with a lot of rejection if they want to be successful. Women deal with it a little bit too. But I think women deal with more regret. You know, they spent a long time with this guy. They spent their best years with this guy and ended up not working out. And that stings and that hurts for a long time, and you don't get that time back. I know when I'm on my deathbed, I'm not going to be like, I wish I would have approached less women. I wish I would have taken less opportunities. Nobody thinks that. They think I could have done more. I had potential and I squandered it. That hurts, man. That really hurts, and it stays with you for a while. So in life, you got to choose your pain. The temporary sting of rejection or the long-term dull ache of regret. I know which one I'd choose.
Never, and I mean never, trust a guy who does this. Men don't just ghost anymore. Now they submarine you. It's something that's become even more common than ghosting. Unlike traditional ghosting, submarining is when a guy disappears for a while. Like a submarine, he goes underneath the surface, but then suddenly he resurfaces out of nowhere, acting like as if nothing happened. And let me tell you, it's not because they were too busy. It's not because he lost interest. It's not because he doesn't think you're attractive anymore. Here's the truth. A man will submarine you for two reasons. One, similar to ghosting, a man will submarine you if there's someone else in his life that he's now prioritizing over you. But another reason is that some men have such a wide rotation of women that he simply cannot keep up with one woman in any kind of consistent way. So he has to make his rounds in order to keep all the girls interested. He'll go quiet, vanish, reappear, acting like nothing happened, because he's trying to fit you in without necessarily losing all his other options. Listen, I'm not saying this is okay. I'm not saying it's the right thing. No one should do this to anyone, but unfortunately, this is just how some men operate in the dating world today. If he suddenly pulls away and then comes back like nothing's happened.
When a woman leaves a relationship and it seems pretty sudden to you, it almost never was. Breakups don't start the day that she walked out the door. Remember, women are different. They start weeks, sometimes months earlier. They start when she begins emotionally detaching, when the conversations stop landing, when the respect erodes, when she starts feeling alone while sitting right next to you. And here's an uncomfortable truth, my guys, okay? Don't ignore this. While you're thinking, we just hit a rough patch, or we can fix this, she is already processing the exit. Women usually grieve the relationship before it ends. Men usually grieve it after it ends. That's why it feels like it came out of nowhere for you. But in her mind, the transition has already begun happening. And sometimes, yes, there's already another man in the picture, okay? I'm sorry, but that is an option. Not always, but often enough that men need to wake the up, because women rarely jump from one branch without knowing where the next one is. So if you're a man listening to this, understand something, please. The moment a woman says, we need to talk, you're not starting the conversation. You are arriving late to it. And the lesson here is not to become paranoid. The lesson is to become present. Pay attention to the shifts, the distance, the loss of admiration, the change in energy, the lack of physical touch, because relationships don't collapse overnight, my friends. They simply do not. They collapse quietly long before the goodbye.
Okay guys, I've got a DM and we need to talk about it. She's been in a relationship for 3.5 years. In the beginning, it was effort, consistency, flowers. Now there's nothing. There's no effort. She has this conversation with him multiple times and nothing is changing. The biggest thing I've learned that in relationships, people evolve and people become more of themselves. In the honeymoon phase, everybody puts in effort. People show the best version of themselves, right? And over time, as that mellows out, they become who they are. The problem that we have when we're in love with somebody is that we cling onto the version that they were without sitting with who they are now. And when you're consistently asking someone to change and they're not, two things. First thing, you don't like the person that they're being. You don't feel loved. You don't feel like effort is being made. And second thing, they're not willing to do it. You need to sit back and look at the person that they are being consistently now. Because the person that they're being majority of the time is who they are. Ask yourself, am I happy with this version for the rest of my life? Do I deserve more? And also, this person is showing you what they're willing to do to step up. And they are not giving it you. They do not respect you enough to change. Yes, relationships do evolve over time, but you should still always be choosing your person. There's a quote that I will never forget, and it's the more you love him, the more he loves himself. The more you love you, the more he loves you. We sometimes forget as a woman that we have so much power, and when we take our power back, when we work on our body, on our mindset, on having our own life, guarantee that person will make so much more effort. No matter how long you've been with someone, you should still feel $1 million, honey. And so if you're not, take that power back. When you stop pouring into somebody, they feel that. Because when you're giving someone 90%, they don't actually have to give you that much. Whereas when you start giving the effort that they give you, when they give 30, you give 30, you will see such a shift, I promise you. Everything is energy.
Babe, I'm ready to take the next step with you. Let's move in together. I want to be able to wake up next to you. I really like what we have. I feel so honored and I'm so happy that you're ready to take the next step. But in order for us to move in together, we need to be married first. If you really feel this way about me, I don't see why getting married first would be a problem. What? No. Let's go ahead and try it out first. Like, how do we know if we're married it's gonna work? It's better for us to try and see how we live together. Because what if we move in together and then we actually are not compatible? And you also know I'm not in a financial place to get married. This is what a real man's response is going to look like. Okay, babe, yeah, let me know what we need to do next. Should we go ring shopping first, or do you want to set up the court date together? I want to make permanent decisions with you. I want to buy a house with you. I want to build with you. I'm so glad we're on the same page. Let's go ring shopping so we can go ahead and see the estimates. I'm available Monday and Wednesday to look at court dates together. Awesome, let's do it. That's exactly how it went down with my husband and I. It was easy, it was smooth, there were no doubts because we both knew what we wanted. I personally find it to be very disrespectful when a guy says, let's try it out first and then I'll get married, because this automatically puts you in an auditioning position for a man. Are there circumstances where moving in together just makes sense? Absolutely. However, for the most part, if you are dating for marriage, you are setting yourself up for failure. Why are you giving him wifey privileges, pretending to play house by moving in with him? Moving in together should be sacred. Having a man see you wake up in the morning when you're all like barely waking up is so vulnerable. Give that privilege to your husband. It is something so sacred. And if he responds like a feminine man, like a weak man, a confused man, a doubtful man, take that as your sign that you're not the one for him and he's not the one for you, because your future husband should never have doubts about you. Do not be scared to have these boundaries, because if you don't fight for you, no one else will. As always, ladies, be wise.
These modern women build their life in entitlement, right? When we talk about a man having to be 6 foot, 6 figures, emotionally intelligent, all of that stuff, this is what a woman is expecting, right? I can get with you on the emotionally intelligent. I can get with you on being an effective communicator. I get with you on that. But having to be 6 foot and make 6 figures is really, it's not necessary. You know, once again, I was watching a show with my wife, and some of these things, you really listen to what other couples are fighting over. And you're like, man, that stuff really does not matter. It really doesn't. It's a nice to have, but it really doesn't matter. You guys, and I understand, you want somebody in a certain place. This is the bare minimum that I need to have, right? Or that I want. Some things you need, some things you want. Some of these things that we're wanting, we don't need. It would be a nice to have. And I'm not saying that you need to go out there and you need to struggle. I'm not saying that. But what I am saying is, some of this stuff that we be asking for and that we say we be needing in a partner, we do not need. And you're making it harder on yourself to find somebody that you can settle down with. You don't have the stomach to say, okay, I can fix this. And then if I don't know how to fix it, I struggle through it and I figure out how to fix it. I have no idea what to do. As a parent, you're going to be doing that. As a parent, you're going to be doing that anyway. You ain't going to know what you're doing. Not even the first clue. You might be reading books. People be telling you, do this, don't do that, do this, don't do that. You don't know what the heck you're doing. It's going to be the same way on the job. I don't know what I'm doing. I told these folks that I can do X, Y, and Z. I don't even know what X is. I don't have the faintest clue what Y is. So you're going to be struggling through it and figuring it out. You're going to be doing the same thing, single, struggling through it and figuring it out. What makes it harder a lot of times in relationships is the other person is working against you, or you feel like you're carrying that other person, right? But once again, even with that, you need to have perspective, because you might be thinking, well, this person is going against me. This person is, I'm carrying this person. This person is dead weight. But then you remove that person because for sure that person is the problem, only to find out, wait a minute, maybe that person was trying to help me out and I spent so much time yapping that I didn't really realize that what they said was kind of right. It wasn't the way that I would have done it, but they had a point. Maybe I should look at that again. And if that's the case, it might not be a bad idea to call them up and say, hey, my bad, I'm sorry. Now, they might not pick up your phone call or whatever, they might have blocked you, but you reach out and say, I tried. That's a part of you going back and righting your wrongs. Even if they still try to cuss you out and go crazy and stuff like that. Hey, that was my bad. I'm sorry about that. You didn't deserve to be treated like that. And I really didn't understand it. So for that, I apologize. Whether they accept it or not, I got my life right and I'm moving forward. It's going to help you in your next relationship, because that's going to be you taking accountability, and you're going to be able to do it freely. You're going to be able to own your part, and you're going to be able to say, now, this is where I felt slighted, or this is where I felt like you were doing this, this, and this. And y'all can sit back and have a conversation without screaming and hollering and accusing and finger pointing at each other. And really a lot of that starts with, in part at least, not being entitled and having these silly, unrealistic expectations and standards.